Over this spring break, our high school ministry got the opportunity to go to the Bahamas on a mission trip to the Adventure Learning Center and camp,
where people from all around the island of New Providence in the Bahamas, kids really go and they learn about science, they learn about God, and it's all integrated.
One of my favorite parts of last week was going around to the different public schools around New Providence. We got to hang out with kids of different grade levels at those schools and do skits with them, play games. But we also got to sit down with them and talk about faith and what it means to represent Christ. That was the theme.
These kids, they knew their Bible verses, knew the correct answers, and genuinely enjoyed it.
My favorite thing we did at the Bahamas was definitely the Physical Disability Center. Most of the kids were nonverbal and only one of them could walk on their own. And I was there and I sat with this girl and she was nonverbal and she couldn't walk, but I felt like we still had a real connection because we just sat and held hands, and she would make noises occasionally, but we'd be looking at our in each other's eyes the whole time.
My favorite part of the trip was going to the Down Syndrome Center and getting to meet all the people there. They're just so full of life and love. We walked in and they were just hugging everybody.
We were at a school and a kid, his name was Taj, he didn't really understand what was going on with the story, and he was like, "Hey, do you know what it's talking about?" And I understood what they were talking. I understood the story. It was the Good Samaritan story, and he was like, "I don't really understand how this applies." And I was like, "You don't have to be ultra religious, or you don't have to be a huge figure to do good. You just have to. Sometimes when it's in front of you, just do it."
We had something called prayer partners. One of my best friends who I've known for 8 years or something, she and I were partnered up the first night, and we literally cried because we got to such an emotional level that we hadn't been to before. It was really nice. It felt like a weight was lifted off my chest.
It pushed me to be a leader while we were at those places and just among the team when we were with ourselves. And it's affected how I interact with other groups that I'm a leader of, on my soccer team and with my 6th grade girls in the morning. At
the end of these trips and conferences and whatnot, you get this Jesus high where you really are convicted and you're ready to go out and work for Christ and do kingdom work. But that lots of times dies out, and we're working on ways that we can, maintain our drive and keep being kingdom workers outside, even though we're not on a mission trip in our own communities.
But the important part is coming home and sharing our experiences and our stories to help bring other people to Christ.
Jesus hasn't been a real big part of my life before now, and going down there, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I think a lot of my nerves were overcome with my other peers, how I saw them. They loved Jesus so much and weren't afraid to talk about it, and I felt this new connection with God. I feel like a new person almost.